Hello, and welcome to this Zen yoga practice for late summer slash harvest season. My name is Samantha, and I'm recording this class in the park where I live. So I'm afraid there's a little bit of ambient noise from lots of seagulls, and there are people wandering around. So I hope that won't be too distracting for you. Before we begin, can I remind you that yoga is a mindfulness practice, among other things, and to always be mindful of what you're experiencing in your body. There should never be any pain, but there may sometimes be some levels of discomfort, so never any pain, and if you're starting to detect that, please ease off. And by all means, you don't have to do all of the practice. You can just do none of it. As Daizan always says, imagining, experiencing yourself doing the practice can convey a very large percentage, or as much as 80%, I believe, of the benefits. So if at any point during the practice you become tired or wish to sit it out, you can always come to child or any other resting choice of your resting pose of your choice. We've got child, which is bringing the buttocks towards the heels, extending the arms out, or bringing the behind, or making a pillow for your head, or you can make some fists on which to rest your forehead, which can be quite relaxing. And of course, you may need to take a wide leg child to accommodate anything coming between the legs. So, with that in mind, let us begin our practice this evening. So, as I say, if you're familiar with the Zen yoga system, this time of year is associated with the organs of the stomach and the spleen, which are very much associated with digestion. And they're related meridians, which the stomach runs down the face and down the front of the legs and into the second toe, while the spleen runs up from the inside, from the big toe, and then flares out towards the armpit. So there's a sort of circuit there. When we experience blockages in these energy channels, we may start to have a sense of lack, inadequacy, wanting, hunger, and when these, a bit like these seagulls, and when these energy channels are freed up, we can experience a sense of abundance, satisfaction, feeling that everything is all right in the world. So let's try to cultivate that in this practice. So we're going to start off with a practice called Naikan, which Daizan teaches. It's one of the sort of energy-focused meditation and physical practices. So coming to a comfortable standing position. Sorry, I need to set an alarm because So coming to a comfortable standing position, feel your weight. Excuse me, I've left my watch behind, so I need to make sure that we're just going for 1 hour and no longer. Please feel the feet directly underneath the hip bones. And this time of year also we work with grounding practices after the heat of the summer, which is associated with the fire element. This time of year associated with the earth. So allow your feet to feel connected with the earth. You may want to lift your toes and experience the lifting up through the instep of that point called the bubbling spring, which corresponds in the Hatha tradition with Padabandha, the footlock. So feel that lifting quality, and then the grounding through the rest of the feet. Let's drop the toes back down, spreading them wide. Just check in with your pelvis, that it's not, your bum's not sticking out, and that we're dropping the tailbones, dropping down nicely. Have the shoulders dropping away from the ears, the arms gently drawn down by gravity, and the crown of the head lifting. So feeling this sense of grounding through the feet and corresponding lifting up through the crown of the head. So we're not going to do the entire practice, but just by way of moving into our yoga work this evening, we're going to start with this practice. So when we're feeling ready, on an inhale, we're going to take the arms out wide and imagining that they can reach to the farthest reaches of the universe. An inhale, and they're scooping all the energy in and down through the body, through the belly. With an exhale, down into the legs. Inhaling, extending and reaching out into infinite space and gathering and harvesting this energy in. And bringing this ball of energy down through the body with the exhale, down into the lower belly, into the legs. Inhaling, keep going with your own breath in your own time. Everyone has different lung capacities and breath rates. Reaching out, gathering in, harvesting the energy, drawing it down through the body, through the abdomen, through and down into the legs. Keep going, extending out, reaching and gathering, and drawing down. Take a few more like that in your own time, each one the same but different from the previous one. Gathering and scooping, seeing how you feel when you draw this energy down into the body. Last one now. Gathering, reaching, extending, bringing the energy down through the body. We're establishing this very grounded quality to our posture that's going to help us with our yoga work this evening. So, just seeing how we can feel now, connected with the earth. Let's widen the stance a little bit. You can maybe take the feet out at 45 degrees. Oh no, actually no, they're just coming straight ahead, so that the hips are facing straight ahead. Widening the stance. And we're just going to bring the arms up to chest height. So just check, you should just be able to see the toes beyond the knees, the tailbones dropping straight down. And we're going to exhale as we twist to the side. And you might want to exhale through the nose. If you're familiar with Kapalabhati, it's a bit like that, a little Strongish exhalation through the nose. And then just as we twist back to center, we just allow the inhalation to come back in naturally. So exhaling. Exhaling to the side as we twist, and then inhale comes back in naturally. Only going as far round as feels natural. And maybe closing the eyes so that you don't become dizzy. Make sure you're not twisting into the knees too much. If there's any pressure on the knees, just ease off. We should be getting a nice sense of mobility through the back. Exhaling, 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 exhaling. Just a couple more like that. And relaxing, coming back to center. Releasing the arms down, maybe narrowing the stance for stability. And just seeing how we're feeling now. And just by way of a little bit more limbering up, just maybe take the feet a little, and just hip width apart for stability. On an inhale, we're going to take the right arm up, transferring the weight into the left foot. And just take a nice easy side bend. Breathing into the spaces between the ribs. Making sure that we're not folding forwards or leaning backwards, just coming straight out to the side. Long through the arm. Inhale. And if you're familiar with Mula Bandha, you can use your pelvic floor to lift you back up to center on an exhale. Let's take that on the other side. So inhaling to lengthen up. And exhaling as we shift the weight into the other foot and extend out through the side body. Once more, we're not folding forward or moving backwards, just breathing into the spaces. Lengthening the intercostal muscles between the ribs. And if there are any twinges or anything in the back, please ease off. Not going for pain in any way. To avoid injury. A couple more breaths if we can. Inhale. And exhaling back up from Mula Bandha. Take a few circles with the shoulders. So as we inhale, we're going to make really big circles with the shoulders. So as we inhale, drawing them forwards, rounding up to the ears. And as we exhale, drawing them back down. We may even open up through the heart area. Inhaling, drawing around. Exhaling, big circles. Inhaling. Exhaling, shoulder blades squeezing together, heart space opening. One more in this direction. And let's go in the other direction. Inhaling, shoulder blades draw together as the shoulders come up towards the ears. Exhaling forward. Inhaling. And exhaling forward. One more. To the ears, big circles. Explore the full range of the movements and notice where your muscles are engaging and disengaging. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Good. Let's just allow the shoulders to drop down and maybe just have a little shake. Okay. So, I demonstrated the meridian lines, or did I? I'll just demonstrate them again. I'm sorry, I've had to have a few goes at this. Stomach line, a stomach organ, and spleen organ, all associated with digestion, This gathering in quality, harvesting, nourishing, as well as food, also knowledge and development. So anything that nourishes us spiritually, physically, emotionally. And the lines, I'll just show you just again, because I've done this a few times now and I can't remember. Stomach coming down through the face, down through the fronts of the legs, into the second toe, spleen coming up through the big toe, inside, flaring out towards the armpits. So, with this in mind, we are going to take a nice easy Surya Namaskar sun salutation, which does work into those the movement of the front body. So if you're just follow as best you can, and just you know, don't push it too far. There are always variations. So from here, we're going to take the arms up overhead on an inhale. We're going to take it nice and slowly, inhaling to reach. And as we exhale, folding forward, bending the knees as much as you need to. As we inhale, we're going to come up with a flat back, so we're like a tabletop. So you can have your hands on your shins, and we're extending through the tailbone to the crown of the head. Long here. And as we exhale, folding forwards again, maybe you bend the knees, or maybe not, if you don't need to. I'm going to take a big step back with the left foot. So you've got options here to stay on the toes of the left foot, or if that's too wobbly, you can come down onto the knees. And please feel free, if you're taking that option, to put something under your knee, roll over your mat if it feels uncomfortable under the knee there. I'm going to take the lunge position just so to show you. And then from here we're going to sweep the arms up. Now if this feels good and you can maintain the integrity of your lower back, you can just open up a little bit through the front of the body. Only as far as you feel able. There's no pain, no forcing here. Shoulders dropping down away from the ears as best you can. Good. We're going to exhale, come forwards, hands either side of the foot, and step back into a downward facing dog. Now, if downward facing dog is not for you, you can always come onto your hands and knees. But otherwise, if you feel downward facing dog, then that's good for you. Any version there or therein, you can bend the knees if that feels appropriate. And from here, if you're familiar with Chaturanga Dandasana, you can come forward and go straight down through that. Otherwise, if you're new to this, or if that's not for you, you can place the knees down, extend forward, and then start to snake forward through the hands, and come up into a nice easy back bend. So it may be Sphinx, it may be Cobra, or if you already feel warmed up, so you've been having a workout before this, you could come up into upward facing dog. But otherwise, if it's your first back bend of the day, it's just something nice and easy. Just make sure that there's no pressure on the lower back, and you can do that by lifting up in the pelvic floor and lifting the navel up and back. And then we've got our back bend occurring in the thoracic area, up here. Neck is long. And from here, so we could bring the head down, and hands underneath the shoulders, tuck or roll over the toes, and come back into your downward facing dog, or back into your hands and knees. And from here, stepping forward with the right foot, give it a hand if that's necessary. And this time we are going to place the back knee down. So we've got quite a long stance, so we're coming as much as we can onto the top of the back knee, so that we're going to get this lengthening quality through the front of the body and the leg. From here, bring the hands onto the front knee, and maybe you can extend through. Again, also support your back knee if you need. Maybe you can extend through the arms. Maybe you want to stay here. Or perhaps you want to bring the arms in, and we've got a back bend going on again. Be mindful of what's happening in the lower back. Engage the Mula Bandha core just to protect the lower back. Good. Let's bring the hands back down. Tuck the back toes under and step forward with the back foot to the front. We're going to either bring the hands to the shins or leave them where they are, but to lengthen once more with a flat back as we inhale. Exhaling, folding and bending the knees as much as necessary. And inhaling, coming all the way up. And the hands calm down through prayer. Good. Okay, let's just see how we're feeling on that side now. And we'll be ready to take that now on the other side. So, as we inhale, arms up overhead. Exhaling to fold forward. Bending the knees if you need. Inhaling, coming up with a flat back. Once more, lengthening from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Exhaling, folding forward, and this time stepping back with the right foot. Option to stay on the toes of the back foot or to place the knee down for stability. We're going to inhale. Oh no, that's not right. Oh yes, it is right, sorry. Inhale the arms up. I was going to pop back onto the lunge. Inhale the arms up. Watching what's going on in the lower back, and if that feels okay, opening up a little bit towards the sky. Nice. And from here, as we exhale, placing the hands back down, and we'll step back into downward facing dog, or place your knees down on the ground. Come on to kneeling, and then choices here. You could come back onto the knees, snake forward, chest, chin, and come up into the back bend of your choice. So that can be on the elbows or on the hands, or as I say, if you've already had a bit of a warm-up workout / warm-up this today before this, you can come up into downward facing dog. Again, back bend occurring in the upper back, not the lower back, so just do what you can to protect your lower back. Nice. Take an inhale. And exhale, lift the hips as we either roll over or tuck the back toes under. And then this time, step forward with the left. We step forward with the right. We step forward with the right. No, step forward with the left. Sorry about that. I'm forgetting that I'm mirroring you. Step forward with the left. Place the back knee down once more. Again, support it with something if you need to. So it's a bit confusing because in Ashtanga you always do everything with the right foot first, but in this is a Hatha Sun Salutation. So you do it with the left foot first. Plus, I'm doing it the other way around because I'm mirroring you. So, from here, let's place the hands back on the front knee. Different knee in front this time. Different knee and different hand on top. So change the hand. If you automatically went for one hand, go for the other hand. And from here, we're going to just press into the arms once more. Press into the hands, lengthening through the arms. Lengthening through the front body, sinking down into it. And if that feels okay and you want to bring the arms in, please do so. Otherwise, just stay where you are. can be quite an intense stretch through that front hip flexor. Couple more breaths if we can. Good. Hands back down. On the exhale, back foot steps forward to front as we lengthen on an inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. And hands down through prayer. Good. Okay, let's carry on with this. Actually, let's do another thing which is also good for the good for the stomach area. We'll just take a twist. So inhaling once more, arms up overhead. Exhaling to fold forward.
Yeah, please.
Inhaling, coming up with a flat back.
This year,
exhaling, folding forward again, and then stepping back with the left foot. So we're going to take a twist here. So you can either stay where you are on the back toes of the back foot, or you may wish to bring the hands to prayer. Or you may wish to bring the knee down, whichever version. Bring the hands to prayer, or if you find that bringing hands to prayer makes you round your shoulders, you can use the knuckles back to back instead. So, choices there. And then we're going to inhale to lengthen. I'm going to come onto the toes. Exhale, we're going to take a twist in that direction. So bring the elbow to the outside of the knee. Now if that's too strong, you can just hold onto the knee, or you can just rest on top of the knee. You're still going as far as is okay for you today. Couple more breaths. You can use the inhale to lengthen and the exhale to deepen the twist by using the elbow and create space in the belly. Nice. Let's release the twist. And so I've got an insect. Release the twist. Hands down either side of the foot. We'll step back into downward facing dog once more, or just come onto your knees. And from here we're going to step forward with the left foot. Again, choices to put the knee down, have the hands into prayer, or with the knuckles. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling to twist, bringing the elbow to the outside of the opposite knee. Once more, be aware of the breath. Inhaling to lengthen from up through the spine. Exhale to deepen the twist as your exhale creates more space in the belly. Massaging the organs in the belly. Good. So release the twist. Hands back down. Just because we did it before, we'll step back to downward facing dog. Nice. And from here, we're going to step forward with the feet, one outside either side of the hands. So we're coming into a sort of, I'll tell you what we're going to come into. We're coming into a goddess posture. So we've got the knees directly above the ankles. So it will depend how deep you are, will depend how wide your feet need to go. So, and the feet are at 45-degree angles. You should be able to see your toes so that the knees aren't rolling in. Tailbones dropping straight down. And from here we're going to bring the two middle fingers together and rotate so that the palms face up to the sky. From here, we're going to make circles, and as we exhale, coming down, and skim down, inhaling to come up, exhale as we come down, inhale to come up, exhale as we come down, shoulder, elbows, sort of intention, elbow towards the knee, opposite knee, one more in that direction. And coming back up to center. Let's take that in the opposite direction. So exhaling to come down. Inhaling as we come up. Legs stay where they are, roughly. Exhale to come down. Inhale to come up. Two more. Exhale to come down. Inhale to come up, and last one in that direction. Exhale down. Inhale to come up. Nice. Okay, let's release the hands. Let's bring the feet together and give everything a little shake out in case any tension has built up there. Good. I'm just going to check on the time. Ah, we're halfway through. Okay, good. So, I'll just set a timer now so that we know that we're halfway through. Good. Okay, so from here, we're going to make our way down onto the mat, and we're going to do this via a squat. So, take your feet as wide as you need. Some people have got, amazing squat capabilities. I'm afraid I'm not one of those people. I take my feet quite wide. And if your heels come up, it's absolutely fine. I'm going to just start to just gently lower down. Slowly, and just wherever you come to, maybe that you're here, maybe that you're here, maybe that you're wherever. So I'm going to just attempt to come a little bit lower. Now, if you're practicing in your squat, there's no reason, in yin, we like to put something underneath here so that actually there's no, we're not taking any tension in there. We can actually just rest the bum down. So, and of course, you can rest have something under your heels as well if that's appropriate for you. Good. Maybe this is a little bit agonizing. So let's gently lower down with grace and style. Okay. So from here, let us, we're going to take the legs wide if we can. So if you take your legs wide and you find that your pelvis is rolling backwards, you could sit on a block or a cushion or something that just helps you to raise your pelvis so it's not tilting back, but just more upright. And we're just going to take this little movement from it works quite nicely with the spleen meridian from the poem Muktasana series, the Hatha series. So it's a little bit similar to what we were doing standing up. So it's a bit of a churning exercise. We're sort of imagining that we've got a great big bowl of porridge or something, and we start to come over to the left-hand side, coming forwards just as far as is comfortable, and then churning this big bowl of porridge as we lean back into it, engaging your core. Couple more stirs in this direction. And let's go in the other direction. So stirring this cauldron, or whatever it is, of nourishing porridge. This is the last one, and we may have had a little bit more stirring on one side than the other. We'll just have to watch out for that next time. Good. Just as a little counter movement to that, let's just bring the knees together. If that only if that feels good for you. Just bring the knees together to get an opposite type of rotation in the hips. So let's work a little bit more with these meridians on the fronts of the body. I'm going to take a sort of, make it just adjust a little bit now that we're down on the floor. Okay. Let's also get a little bit darker. So, we've got one leg extended. We're going to bring, only if this feels okay for you, we're going to bring this other one round. Now, so it's alongside the outer edge of the thigh. Now, if you find that when you do this, you're really tipping up in this direction or this direction, you can put something, it's usually this direction, do put something underneath here, this side, just to support it so that both hips are nicely square on. Here you've got choices here. We can just start to walk the hands back to wherever you come to. So maybe you rest in your elbows. Maybe you go a little bit further and come all the way down, or come to some other place. You've always got options as well here to put some cushions underneath you so that you feel supported and that you can just let go in the front of the body. Yeah, probably got a little bit too far. My leg's starting to shake a little bit, which means there's a lot of tension in my quads and in my hip flexors. So this always starts to make me so I'm going to ease off, but if you are flat on your back, please enjoy. The shaking is actually all to the good, it just means it's shaking out. I don't want you to think that your legs have to shake, they probably won't. Come up. Let's release that leg. Give them both a little bit of a shake. And then bring the other leg round onto the other side so that it's resting alongside the thigh on the other side. Now if you needed a support on this side or whatever, take that just so that the hips are nice and square once more. And from here you can start to once more walk the hands back. Maybe you stay onto your elbows. Maybe you come a little bit further down all the way. None of it is right or wrong, just what's appropriate for you. Let's come up a little bit just to find that point for me where it's not going to start shaking. And either, go on with your elbows or just rest nicely onto your back. releasing the leg, and giving them both a bit of a shake. I have to move around a bit. Let's have a look. Maybe not too bad. It's a bit more light over here, so I'll just turn around a bit here. So, where are we? Okay, so we come out of half hero, releasing the legs. We're going to come onto our backs, and from here, working a little bit more with these meridians. We're going to come onto our backs, and I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to allow the heels to float up to the sky, and from here, we're going to rotate so that the toes come. They're going to lead away from the body, and then we're going to rotate the feet to face inwards, and you can feel that rotation in the hips, and then they're going to lead back in, toes touch, toes lead away, toes rotate, and lead back in, heels touch, toes lead away. Now if this is too strong for you, you can do it with the knees, so the knees lead away, and then the knees lead back in, of course avoiding any pain or pulling in the knees, but again you get the same feeling in the hips with the knees leading back in. So whether you're working with the toes variation or the knees, please keep going for a few more rounds. Toes lead away, rotate, toes lead back in. Fussing. So I'm having to fuss a little bit because I stupidly forgot my watch. Toes lead away, rotate, toes lead back in. Just in your own time, and when you think you've done enough of that, just rest the knees together, take the feet wide. And from here, a little bit more work with strengthening, which we've already done quite a bit of. Yeah, it's a little bit more work with strengthening. So bring the soles of the feet together. I'm going to make Sapana Mudra, so I don't know if you know this one, so you interlace your fingers, point your index fingers up and the thumbs cross over. And from here, you're going to start lying down, and you're taking the arms up overhead. That is the inhale position. And you've got options here too. If you want to work a little bit harder, you can have the feet floating or you can have them resting down. So, choices there. So this is our inhale position. As we exhale, we're going to come and point the fingers and lift the heart towards the left knee. Inhaling. Exhale towards the right knee. Inhaling, lengthen away. Down the middle. Inhaling, lengthening away. Exhale, left knee. Inhale. Exhale, right knee. Inhaling. Down the middle. Maybe you want to stop here. Maybe just imagine yourself doing another round, or maybe you can do another round. Inhale. Exhale, left knee. Inhale. Exhale, right knee. Inhale. Down the middle. Let's hold for a couple of breaths if we can. 2, and 1. And release, well done. We'll bring the knees together once more and take the feet wide. You can rest the arms on the ground in a sort of cactus position so the shoulder blades can melt and relax into the air. Not just sitting, so you might want to just have the hands around one of the knees and draw yourselves back up. Just checking on the time. Okay. So from here we're gonna cross over the legs and come over onto the hands and knees. And then we're going to come all the way, first we're going to come up into a downward facing dog. Come forward into a lunge. And then lowering all the way down. So we've got choices here. You can either, I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to reach back for the right ankle, foot or trouser, or if you need to use a strap, you can use a strap around that ankle. Reach forward with the left arm, and then when we're ready, seeing if we can levitate the arm and the leg up. 3, 2, and 1, and release down. Make a little pillow for your head and take a little rest. Good. Let's take that onto the other side then. So reaching back, left hand to the left ankle, trouser or foot. Reaching forward, right hand, and when we're ready, floating the leg up and the arm lengthening forward. And 3, 2, 1, and release back down. This time I suggest you come back into a downward facing, child pose. Can be wide or can be, actually I would suggest if you want to work a little bit more into the spleen meridian, take a wide leg child. Nice, so one final thing down here, we're going to snake forward on the mat through the hands. And if this is accessible to you, we're going to, and if not, don't worry, you can just grab hold of your trousers and just like stay where you are. Otherwise we're going to grab hold of the ankles or the feet or the trousers, or you can use a strap. And when we're ready, we're lengthening the shins and ankles away to lift the body. Now maybe that's where you stay or come back down. Maybe you want to go a little bit further and just gently roll over to one side and roll over onto the other side. Maybe you'd like to stay there, one side, other side, or maybe you just want to go. Maybe if you're feeling a little bit more rock and rolly, you can start to roll from one side to the other. It's all up to you. None of it matters. What we're doing is getting nice opening through the front body, through stomach and spleen meridians. And gently coming back to center. releasing the arms. And I suggest we come back into another child pose. So maybe another wide-legged child or child of your choice. I'm coming in with a wide-legged child and I'm going to make little fists, the fists here, which is really supporting the forehead, which is really nice in there. Stay where you are. I'm just going to come forward and just check on the time once more. So, I just here, closing knees, and just one other thing, again, to work into these meridians through the fronts of the bodies, through the fronts of the legs. So if you can, just kind of come into a kneeling position. Just maybe you need to support yourself here with your hands. We're just going to gently lift the knees up. And you might start to feel some pulling, lengthening. Just ease off if it's too strong through the fronts of the feet and the shins. It's one of those yin postures where they place the hands here and stay for, just 3 to 5 minutes. But we're not going to do that today. Just having a little play with it. Good. Place the knees back down. We'll come over onto the side. Bring the legs round, and we'll take a seated spinal twist this evening. Yeah. So, either you can the choices. You can either have, so we've swung the legs round. You can keep this one bent and bring this one over to the outside of this knee. Now, if what's happening, and you do that, this hip is coming right up, we don't want that. We want the hips to be nice and even, so I suggest you extend the bottom leg. And from here, take the hand, this will be your left hand, of the front knee, place it to the back of the spine, and then you can either wrap this other, I'm going to just come back to this position, so just wrap this arm around the knee and just gently draw yourself around. So the hand is at the base of the spine like a scaffolding pole, just to give you some support. Or if this is accessible to you, you can take the elbow to the outside of the knee. Think about the belly button and the sternum turning rather than the head. If you want to bring your head in and it feels okay in your neck, then you can, but don't worry too much about the neck. Couple more breaths here. So we'll release the twist. Take a little counter twist. Apologies for the noise. And if you're in this position and you want to try something a little bit controversial, not really controversial, it's not yoga really. You can just try turning yourself around like this. So you leave the legs where you are, you start to walk the hands around where the front one is, you keep going, you leave the feet don't move their position, just the hands, and you walk yourself round and come over onto the other side, like, as if by magic. So your feet are now in the opposite direction, in the opposite configuration. Now, same things apply. If your hip is lifting up, which we don't want, we extend the lower leg. Hand to the base of the spine like a scaffolding pole to lift and lengthen the spine. other hand wraps around to the outside of the leg, or if you want, bring that back in. Somehow that makes it really inaccessible for me. Otherwise, and then bring the other knee, bring the elbow to the outside of the knee, or you can just, wrap. Using the inhalation to lengthen, exhalation to twist. And that's an example of bio-individuality, which is why I say we should never ever judge our own posture work against other pupils, because everyone's anatomically individual. So what may be anatomically okay for some people may be absolutely unattainable for others. So really, when people say, oh, I'm not flexible, I can't do this, or I can't do that, maybe it could be that they really can't, and that's going to be fine. Okay, let's release and take a little counter twist. And unravel the legs. And we're going to come onto our backs for a few minutes of Shavasana. Now I'm going to lead you onto your back and invite you to come into your most comfortable position. But I'm not going to stay on my back because I'm going to get up and talk and see what the time is just to make sure. But I would like you to come into your most comfortable position. So you will be hopefully closing your eyes and just relaxing. But first of all, we're going to just start to move onto our backs by lowering down. Slowly, slowly, slowly. With control. Ah, lovely. What a relief. And then you can extend your feet away, hip width apart if that feels good, or please do support your knees if your lower back feels it needs some help. Have the hands either a little bit away from the body with the palms facing up, or they can rest on the belly, whatever feels good for you. Lift the head and lengthen the neck. And once you've found your most comfortable, supported position, you can close the eyes. If that feels okay for you, or you can keep them open. Relaxing all your efforts now in this season of nourishment, allowing the body to absorb the nutrition of the practice in complete relaxation. So no effort at all. Being breathed by an effortless breath. And it's as in our meditation and practice that we can sit or lie in stillness, being part of everything that's going on around us, but not necessarily caught up in it. Allowing for a moment for our awareness to be spontaneously drawn to any sensations in the body. Just noticing, observing, experiencing, but without analysing or judging or attributing any meaning. Just being the noticed and the noticer. And now starting to deepen the breath. And bring a little bit of movement into the fingers and the toes. And when you're feeling completely ready, rolling over onto your right hand side. And then coming up into a comfortable sitting position. Namaste. Arigato gozaimasu. Thank you for practicing with me. And I do apologise for the noise and lack of preparation on my part. I hope you got something out of the practice and hope to see you soon.